Okay, we're back. Now, to get that little hook here at the bottom of the bill, we'll worry about that a little bit later, but all we're going to do is go up a little bit. And what we do is we're going to go a little bit deeper. Let me see how deep that really is versus... Hang on just a second here. That's pretty well. What I do at the bottom here is I just start to peel some of this out a little bit and just go up to make that little hook on the bill. Now you want to be careful, and now I'm going to bring this down a little bit, and I'm going to trim this off a little bit because we're at the corner there, so we want all that hard stuff to come off of the eagle, because otherwise it's not going to look right when we go to. Now this is going to be a little bit smaller here again, right here, but that's okay. We're going to round this off a little bit more a little bit later. See how we have the hook of the bill, or the beak coming up. Okay. Now, one thing I didn't do on this one, which I'm going to do on this one, there should be a little bit of a hook here, like a little bit bigger. This is okay here, but they usually come out a little bit and then go back. So I'll try to put that on this one. See how I start having it, the bill going in deeper to the head, and then I'm going to try to scoop this out a little bit more. And you want to be careful, because if that breaks off, just super glue it back on. It's not a big deal if it comes off. So that's kind of how. Now if it's not deep enough, you just go back and you just cut a little bit more off. Alright, just like so. That's it. And then you come back and you kind of take all that hard stuff off. Alright. Now, here in the face, okay, here where it meets the face itself, this actually gets indentation a little bit into the head. So what I'll do is I'll take my knife and I'll just follow this around, and I will dig it out from the bill side, or from the beak side, okay? Just like so. Alright, see how that made a difference than it sticking out like this? Okay? It's the bill side. Alright, so now we're going to go further here, and we're going to go ahead and make a little bit of an indentation like that. And then we're going to come back over here and we're going to just start chopping the top of the head off here a little bit more. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it in a little bit more. Start rounding this off. We can put the indentations for the eyes sockets a little bit different, but you want to constantly look at it to make sure you have both sides done correctly. I sprayed it before I started. I'm going to get another knife for some reason. Whoops. Okay. All is well. There we go. I just sharpened these up on my machine here. Hang on just a second. One thing you want to do after you ever sharpen it is wipe it off with a cloth, otherwise you're going to get these little black marks all over like I just did there. So I'm going to take all this hard stuff off, because if you don't, it's going to not look right when you go to paint it. And if you use white paint, it's not a big deal, but if you use a colored paint, any color, it's going to come up, it's going to show up a lot darker. And the places that are smoother are going to be a lot lighter. So it's a lot like staining. Same concept. Okay, we're going to bring this down a little bit. It's still a little bit too wide for me, so I'm gonna just kind of scoop this out a little bit more on either side. This is probably the most difficult part of it. I had a little problem with the flag the other time. That kind of have to count that out and figure out how that's going to work for you. Put the flag at the bottom. Now you can do variations of this eagle head. You can do it with the brown feathering on the bottom, which I'll do later on. But a lot of people like the American flag wrapped around it. I did another one with an American flag wrapped around the whole thing, and it worked out really nicely. So what I do is kind of hollow this out. I turn it, okay? It goes in a semicircle, quarter circle from the eye. As I work my way back, I work it down, okay? Alright, it's a lot better. I'm happy with that. And this is more of a caricature. There's not a realistic, you know, measurements on this at all. I'm going to take this back here just for a second and clean up something here. I'll be right back and I'll show you what I did, because I can't see that in front of the camera as well. Alright, this should be scooping upward, okay? This here should be coming up and around, and there should be a bend there and a hollow point there. So we're kind of done with the head for now. The bill, I'm going to continue to flatten that out a little bit, and then I'm rounding this up. As you can see, I just took the corners out a little bit to match it, okay? And just straight across. Alright. And same thing here. I leave that bill, that point there. I just round it a little bit. There we go. Round it off. Okay, so that's the end of the bill for now. Now you can, if you want, you can put a line. I actually did this just with drawing, but because I kind of forgot about it. But you can put a line across from here to here and put a line in, a little V cut in, which I'll probably do later. But as I'm digging this out, I'm going to start doing the rest of the body, and then we'll start with the eyes here and how we're going to do this. The eyes on an eagle, it usually comes down and around. This is usually indented, and then it comes up like this, like a little swerve up and down. So we'll come back and we'll do the eyes in a second.